Hello and welcome back to day 3 of Monetization. This is my final recording of the show, so I'm looking forward to having a bit of rest. Yeah, I'm here with Phil and Andrew from Spoken. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
It's great to be here.
yeah. How have you enjoyed the show so much so far?
It's our debut show.
Yep.
And so we actually just launched our free beta back in July. And so the entire team was geared up for this event
Yeah,
as a major milestone. Whether it's from a product perspective, from a brand perspective, and from a social media perspective.
yeah,
And so it's fulfilled every one of our expectations and more. And the people that we've met are just so receptive to what we're doing.
Yeah.
And much more so than we even thought. We're excited enough about it.
Yeah.
But to hear their excitement, that's
Yeah.
really what puts wind in our sails.
For as much hand wavy, hey, look at us, we're doing cool stuff, as you would expect at a trade show. A lot more of it was, who are the people here, and what are they doing, and how does this whole ecosystem fit? We learned a lot about them.
Yeah.
So it was great.
definitely. I love trade shows for the serendipitous moments. You know, people you meet who you wouldn't have met otherwise. Everyone's in the same place at the right time, so it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about Spoken, because I'm not. It's a new company for me. I don't know so much about it.
Sure. Yeah. So Spoken helps writers to create, self-publish, and then stream, socialize, and monetize the audio of their works. And our background and after to go write science fiction.
Yeah.
And so that journey, combined with so many great people that I met there, co-writers, led me to a need, really.
Yeah.
I tried to create a project and couldn't. And then once I finally had something in my hand, I had nowhere to put it because it happened to be short form.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, we need the creator platform, we need the place to publish, stream, and monetize, and that's what Spoken became.
Yeah.
And here we are,
Yeah.
talking to you.
So how does Spoken work, like compared to other tools we've got around it?
Sure. Well, it's unique in both of those ways that I just said. There's really no other service that combines both the DIY self-published audio, right?
Yeah.
While you're there, while you sit, you just generate the entire work before your eyes or before your ears, and with the streaming and monetization platform, which means a subscription listening platform where the listener, once we turn on subscriptions, right now it's a free beta. Once we do that in 2025, it'll be a $10 subscription, and 50% of that subscription goes directly and proportionally back to the writers you listen to.
Right. Okay.
And so that's a very different, what we call an affinity model. And that was really his brainchild. So that whole business model is in and of itself very different. And I'll have him say a little bit more about that.
Oh, yeah, sure. So just to simplify a little bit, it is 2 parts, right? It's this purpose-built, first-of-its-kind workflow so that any writer, whether you're a novice or super experienced, can come in and dump in your work, bring your words, and put them to work, creating beautiful narration that's high quality and super affordable. The other part is that social engagement, publishing, streaming, and monetization side, where listeners can come, writers can participate in other communities on the network, and sort of like rising tide raises all ships situation.
Right.
The affinity model is particularly interesting because in other streaming services, typically how it works is the users that bring the most engagement are the ones that get the largest pie, so to speak, from the subscription service revenue model perspective. The inverse of that, the Spoken affinity model, really means that every single listener gets to vote with their own wallets who they want to support. You don't have to subscribe like Patreon or Substack. You just use your ears and support people.
Endless listening. So listening as well.
Endless listening.
Yeah.
Endless listening.
Something like that.
So it doesn't link up with Amazon or other sorts of that. It's a kind of its own platform where people would.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're a baby, right?
Yeah.
We launched 3 months ago, our little beta, and currently it's a sort of little garden experience where you create the work, you sort of publish it to your Instagram type social profile, and listeners can come and follow you and engage with the content there. what we've learned at this event was the appetite to take a high quality asset that's produced and bring it with them to the other streaming services that support AI generated audio is massive.
Yeah.
So once again, this is one of the entire reasons we came to an event like this, to learn how everything fits together, and will definitely allow writers to create as well as take with them the work that they create.
Yeah, amazing. So it is completely different to anything else that we've heard. It's like this is a whole new concept for getting the audiobooks out.
It really is, and because my initial inspiration was to have short form published, and I have a particular affinity for multi-cast, multi-character, multi-voice, right? And that's particularly difficult to get narrated, right, in the traditional way. We found that we can really hit some really important target markets that aren't really being supported today. Short form. I mean, you're a podcaster, and so that's really been the only avenue for short form writers. But they don't monetize it; they don't make money off of that. And so here, the amount of listening that a subscriber doesn't matter whether it's short form or not. You're going to get that percentage of their listening time, and so maybe you just put together a bunch of 5-minute, projects that string together in a series, and somebody just listens to it on and on and on. You're going to get that portion of their month's subscription.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So in your talk yesterday, I guess you were giving an overview of how your tool works, because it is a bit of a new concept.
It was a bit of a broader market content.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more about the business of audio.
Yeah.
And because we're at a self-publishing conference,
it
was all about some of the challenges and opportunities in self-publishing audio, especially now that AI is available, phenomenal AI narration is available, and some of the historic challenges of the royalty-based models, the 25%, 40% of Audible, the very confusing model at Spotify.
Yeah.
So those we basically said your relationship complicated is how we titled that part of the presentation. And then we also dealt with the elephant in every room, which is AI. And so when you combine all of the realities of what tech can do for the writer, I actually started the talk with a funny video, which your listeners can go and see online. But it's basically posing some big questions here. What if, at a click of a button, you could bring in your entire manuscript, and out comes miraculously perfect narration, the perfect pitch, the perfect intonation, the perfect delivery of every passage, every line. Not only that, but do it to next to no cost, and be able to deliver it worldwide in any language immediately. And the way that if your listeners go and watch this video, they'll see that we did it is we changed my voice about every sentence, about every 2 sentences. And I just become that voice, then that voice, and that voice while you're watching me talk. It's a lot of fun. So we started with that. So that sort of piqued people's interest. But then we went into that issue of AI and the current business models of audio, and what happens to this entire market when that reality that I just mentioned to you at the click of the button becomes real. Because we're going to deliver that. We are delivering. We're close to getting to that sort of perfect, don't even have to proof it model. Still have to proof your work right now, but we're going to get there. And so we believe that the subscription model, where the writer is rewarded based on the amount of listening, and that's done equitably, is the right way to go about that. So it was a great discussion.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
With your tool, and if you're using AI to do the narration, do you find that it gets like the intonation quite well as well? So, for example, if you're asking a question, does it raise up the end that sort of thing?
Well, it's phenomenally, like, everybody who hears is like, okay, I had no idea it was this good, and every week it seems like the models are improving, and so but it also depends on how you choose your voice for your character. We help you with that. We help to automate the alignment of how you describe your character with the voices in the library, and those voices that are in that library are all voice active voices. They get paid for every use.
Right. Okay.
So that's different, right? And so we believe in ethical AI. We believe in approaching this as ethically as we possibly can, and we'll do everything we can to align the perfect voice for you. We have hundreds of voices. So So people are always amazed at how good it is, but it doesn't mean it's right every time.
Yeah.
And especially if you go multicast, multi-character, multi-voice, the way that we divide and then reassemble all of that, sometimes it loses a bit of a narrative cohesion with my plot. So all you have to do is touch the button, speak that line the way you want it to come out, loops up and through the character's voice, and comes out exactly as you speak.
Yeah.
Okay. And that right there, just make sure that you have the tools necessary to deliver messages exactly how. Yeah. I used a lot of words. So.
So if you wanted to edit any of the things that the narration has done, you can literally like record yourself saying something, and it will do that voice.
It will loop it up through the character, and then but talking about self narration, for a lot of folks that have narrated their own words, you can upload your audio, whether your own voice or that of a voice actor, studio recordings, and upload it spoken in order to leverage that business model that we talked about on the shared monetization. So we want to really play nice with all of that, and it's all I think opening up a lot of doors. Yeah.
I just wanted to sort of add, all of these very sort of intentional features that speak it, the selection of the ability to do multicast, the diverse range of voices that are all available. All of this is built into this workflow that is meant to sort of wrangle AI in a way that's never been attempted, specifically for writers of all shapes and sizes. This is the first time they have access to something. So things that you're addressing right now are things that we are dealing with every day as we decide what foot we're going to put next as we build this product that, once again, is in beta for free.
Great. And when you had your talk, did you have any really great questions?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
a lot of great questions. A very important question was, well, what if I have my work elsewhere? Am I able to put it on Spoken? And I'm like, we don't take any rights from the writer at all. All we ask is that you attest that you have the right to post this on our network.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but once it's actually out there and playable on Spoken, we put a security wrapper around it so that nothing but our own player can play it. As Andrew said, we'll allow the writer to take their work; it's theirs. But we want to make sure that we prevent people from just stealing it right off the web.
Yeah. So
that was one of the questions. So,
So at the moment, the customers, the listeners, they would listen to it through the Spoken platform.
That's right.
Inside.
Yeah, that's right.
But in future, maybe the author can take that and also put it on Spotify.
If they've created the perfect narration of their novel, supporting them by being able to take that and push it through their other channels, I think is something inevitably that will be done.
Yeah, amazing.
Some of the other questions, though, that we had is around, worries about quality, and thinking about voice actors, and and had actually some questions from voice actors. Can you think of what other key questions did we get? Do you remember?
I do want to touch on the voice actor comment for a second. We got a really insightful question from someone who's a union voice actor, and they actually commended us for what we're attempting to do, right? Democratizing access to narration so that a broader swath of the creative writing community can create an asset that they can monetize. But internally, we fully believe that human voice is the gold standard. That's why we allow people to bring that with them if they've already shucked out thousands of dollars to create that beautiful narration. And we hope that we can continue to do that in the future, and make a safe place for all kinds of audio content. We're really about celebrating writers and readers who love to listen, and to create a sort of home for that.
Yeah, I'd like to reinforce that point, that question from the voice actor. The reason we commended this is because that idea of being able to democratize and make accessible audio for short form to writers who don't have that much money, and so that's the reason we did that. Yeah, that was a really important point.
Yeah, it's really fascinating because there's so much possibility for narrators maybe who haven't got the time to do all of these books themselves. They can still have their voice out there with all of these different books.
That's right. Because, the truth is that, and this was the other part that we covered in the talk yesterday, audio is exploding.
Yeah.
You know, there was really only one person in the room from a company that starts with A that could answer the question: has audio truly eclipsed the purchases of books in ebook and printed form?
Right.
Has audio become king?
Oh, really? Okay.
And because I think it's a valid question at this point, and that the person from the company that starts with A was, has not answered that question, but I believe that we're at least getting close. And so, with that being the case, and when you think about the wide variety of kinds of works that we're talking about that don't have any avenue at all,
Yeah.
or certainly no monetizable avenue, this becomes a very exciting combination.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I mean, my books, they're non-fiction mostly, and most of them don't really make enough sales to really justify spending thousands on getting like narration. So this is a really great option.
Yeah, generally you're right. Traditional narration would cost for about 100,000 word novel, cost maybe about $5,000 or so.
Yeah.
And yet, as Andrew said, we consider that studio recordings, voice actors, still the gold standard.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
will be. I will still enjoy my Jim Dale
Yeah.
narrating Harry Potter.
Oh, Stephen Fry is way better.
I've been told that.
You've got to listen to Stephen Fry.
I've been told that. I've been told that several times, and I got to tell you, as much as I love Jim Dale, I am going to listen.
Yeah, it's honestly like listening to a new book.
Right.
Yeah, great. Well, we're in Las Vegas, obviously. So, have you managed to get any time to do any Las Vegas stuff? Have you had any time to go out for cool meals or do any gambling or shows or anything? Or...
We have been so swamped
in
discussions and learning and exploding our brains that I had to excuse myself for about an hour a day to research what exactly the Spoken team is doing today. I can tell you there are 2 blocks on our calendar from 6 to 11:30 that is mandatory dinner and mandatory fun.
Right.
But I won this.
Right.
Okay. And I won this from the Wheel of Fortune slot machine.
For people on audio, he's holding $100 notes.
It's a US note.
And we are going to dinner tonight.
Yeah.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
In Vegas, that's probably
That doesn't go very far. You go to Denny's and get some bacon. Yeah.
You know what?
So I went to Denny's for breakfast. It was amazing.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'd love to get you on to do a proper show when we're back to reality.
That's great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Publishing Performance podcast. I really hope you found today's episode inspiring. I love chatting to authors, writers, and people in the publishing world. Now, just before we wrap up, let me tell you about Publishing Performance, the #1 platform for authors who want to increase Amazon book sales, but are not really sure where to start. Now, this show is all about helping you to sell more books. And if you're looking to boost your publishing game and to maximize your book's potential on Amazon, then Publishing Performance is designed to help authors just like you to grow your readership and to reach a much wider audience. Now, I know that Amazon ads can be slightly complicated, which is why Publishing Performance is like having a personalized ad account manager to create your ad campaigns, to choose your best keywords, and to make adjustments in real time. Now, if you're investing in ads, you really want to make sure that your investment is being used effectively, and Publishing Performance does just that. It aims to make your budget go further, improve your organic rank, and target keywords more effectively. Just go to publishingperformance.com to get started with Amazon ads for just $1.